Good afternoon, distinguished guests. It's my utmost pleasure as the chairperson of Newry and Down District Council to welcome you to this unique virtual celebration event for Common Threads Laces Across the Border project. Today's event is special as it celebrates a unique partnership between the Boris Lace Makers Group in County Carlow and the South Armagh Lace Collective. These two heritage lace groups have worked tirelessly over the last 3 months alongside the Council's AOMB and Geopark Department to deliver the Common Threads project. We are very grateful to the Department of Culture, Heritage and the Gaeltach's cooperation with Northern Ireland Funding Scheme 2020, which made this project possible. Indeed, this cross-border project has helped groups in the Ring of Gullion AOMB area to link with projects across Ireland over the last number of years. I extend my warmest welcome to everyone joining us virtually today. The Common Threads project brought together a dedicated group of master craftspeople from the north and south of Ireland to shine a light on their rich lace-making traditions and skills as part of the ongoing effort across the island of Ireland to safeguard those cherished practices for the future generations to enjoy. Together, they have created wonderful collaborative pieces of art, which we will share with you this afternoon. Given the restrictions with COVID, both groups have had a steep learning curve into the world of technology, as we all have. They have embraced the use of platforms such as Zoom, Viber, WhatsApp as means of connecting virtually to celebrate, share and showcase their respective lace traditions. Both groups share the same vision, which is essentially to work with local communities to reawaken and reignite an interest in their respective lace traditions. These important traditions have immeasurable cultural value and have an enormous impact on the social and economic heritage of each area. Simply put, these traditions have withstood the test of time, having been passed down from mother to daughter over the course of the last 2 centuries. Boris lace was introduced to South County Carlow over 174 years ago. Wow. Whilst the women of Cullaville and Crossmaglen in South Armagh have been making Carrickmacross lace for the best part of 200 years. Unreal. Ultimately, this project seeks to honour all those women who were instrumental in establishing the lace traditions in both areas. The early lace makers and those involved in its teaching and revival over the years. Both groups' commitment to keeping the lace tradition alive and honouring the memory of all those early lace pioneers is to be commended. This project serves as a useful metaphor for the current situation we all find ourselves in, where we are forced to slow down and to go back to basics, and working in isolation with traditional cottage lace makers have always done. I will finish by saying a huge thank you everyone for coming along to this virtual event. I hope everyone finds the films and talks interesting and gets involved in the work of the South Armagh Lace Collective and Boris Lace Makers over the coming months. A special word of thanks to Mark from 8990 and for editing and creating the films for this afternoon's event. This event is part of the Mourne Dullion Strangford Aspiring UNESCO Global Geopark Activity Programme. And the Council is very proud to support this project and the rich lace heritage in the district. I would like to conclude by thanking both lace groups for their sheer determination and hard work over the last few months, despite all the challenges of COVID. Hopefully you will be inspired by what you hear. As chairperson of the local council, it is truly fantastic to see the successes of the South Armagh Lace Collective and what they have achieved since they set up back in 2018. I look forward to hearing about what else is coming in the future. Thank you.
Hi, as Minister with responsibility for heritage, I just wish to congratulate Boris Lace Makers and the South Armagh Lace Collective for this important exhibition and the work that has been done, the really great collaborative work that has been done to bring it to fruition. In particular, I think it's important to recognise the North-South element of this and the North-South funding that brought it together and helped support it. but also to, in particular from my point of view as Heritage Minister, to recognise that tradition of Boris lace making in my own part of the country, in Carlow and in Kilkenny. And I think in supporting that, to see that this tradition will be carried on and there's a legacy and a continuum of that tradition handed on to the next generation, because I think that's really important. And finally, I think the connection between Boris Lace and Boris House is a really important one, and from which this tradition has stemmed. It's something unique to Ireland and something that is valued and cherished throughout the world. And it's given the fact that this work has taken place through very, very challenging times, through COVID, through this pandemic, makes it all the more special. So I just wish to congratulate everybody involved for this really wonderful project and initiative.
It's a great privilege to be asked to say a few words at the opening of this remarkable online exhibition, celebrating two great lace-making traditions on this island of ours. I want to congratulate the South Armagh Lace Collective and the Boris Lace Makers Group for bringing this event to us today and showcasing their wonderful talent and skills. They have worked so hard to make this collaboration the success it so obviously has been, which is an extraordinary achievement given the very difficult times we all find ourselves in. I want to acknowledge the assistance given by the Department of Culture, Heritage and the Gaeltacht through the cooperation with Northern Ireland Funding Scheme. Whilst we know that art and culture know no borders, cross-border working is so important, and this kind of funding provides the opportunity for groups such as the South Armagh Lace Collective and the Boris Lace Makers to come together and forge new connections. In doing so, we all learn a bit more about our shared culture and practices. In a nutshell, it helps communities come together to celebrate what is really important to them, and the Common Threads project does this so ably and admirably. What you're about to see is a real celebration of women and their many skills and talents. This exhibition is a fitting tribute to all those lace makers, both past and present, who have contributed so much to their families and communities and continue to do by reminding us what is at the very soul of the places we come from. Lace was in many ways the lifeblood of both these communities as a crucial financial support to generations of rural families. For my own part, as a native of South Armagh, I am delighted to see our local heritage being showcased and promoted in such a thoughtful and considered way. I want to commend the South Armagh Lace Collective for their ongoing commitment and dedication to tell the story of lace making in South Armagh, to highlight the role and contribution of our local women that played in the wider international success story of Carrickmacross lace. It is truly humbling to see the reverence for the lace here, and it's reassuring that the skills continue to be passed down through generations of families and newcomers to lace are finding such pleasure in the craft. I am left with the feeling that the future of this wonderful lace tradition in both South Armagh and in Boris and County Carlow is bright. I wish the South Armagh Lace Collective and the Boris Lace Makers Group all the very best for the exhibition and every success with their future activities.